Hello learners, in this lecture we will discuss on design of one-way slab. In the design of slab, as you know, on these reinforcement slabs are provided on the rooms or also in buildings. They have the width and length. So let us draw one of these slabs drawing. Now if you have a slab like this, okay, room size is this, so you have a slab like this. So the longer dimension is called Ly and the shorter dimension is called Lx. Length in x direction, length in y direction. If then once you know the Ly and Lx, then calculate L effective in y direction and L effective in x direction. Calculate both effective spans. We have already discussed how to calculate effective spans in the previous design of the single reinforced beam sections. Now effective spans, if you know the y direction and x direction, then if your Ly effective by Ly Lx effective, if it is less than 2, it is called a two-way slab. If it is more than 2, that is called a one-way slab. So first you have to confirm whether you are designing a one-way slab or a two-way slab from the dimensions of the room size. Once you know that, you can go for one-way slab. If it is given the question design a one-way slab, then you can directly design. If not given one-way or two-way slab, only the room size is given, then you have to first find out whether it is a one-way slab or a two-way slab. Then you go for design. So in this problem, it is a one-way slab because you see 7 by 3 is more than 2, so it is two-way slab. What is the example of a one-way slab? This is a one-way slab. 7 by 3 is more than 2, so it is a one-way slab. But the example of one-way slab, barandas. If you see the barandas, the length is more and width is less. Okay, so that behave like a one-way slab. And one-way slab design is same as the design of single reinforced beam section, simple supported beam section, single reinforced beam section. The only thing in slabs, the width, as you are taking in the beam width was 250, 300, but here the width is 1 meter. So all the things you have done for this design of beams, so same things will valid in case of the one slabs. But the only thing here, these we find the spans are different and the load is calculated per meter width, because the loading in kilonewton, live load, dead loads on these slabs will be kilonewton per meter square. If you multiply with this 1 meter width, it becomes kilonewton per meter square is the intensity of loading multiplied by 1 meter, that is the width 1 meter, so it becomes kilonewton per meter, that becomes a UDL on your span. So the formula will again remain same, WL square by 8, WL by 2, maximum bending moment, maximum shear force respectively. So the loading is kilonewton per meter square, means 1 kilonewton load is coming in 1 meter by 1 meter area. If it is 1 meter this side, 1 meter this side, and you put 5 kilonewton meter square, means 5 kilonewton load can be put on this area. So this is 5 kilonewton per meter square, the meaning of this intensity of loading. Now let us design a slab, room size 3 meter and 7 meter, subjected loads 2 kilo live load, subject to a load, live load basically 2 kilonewton per meter square, M20 grade Fe415, and width of support is given 300 millimeter. So like these problems we have discussed in beam design, you can design slab. Again, you all are requested or advised to see the previous video lectures on the shear, development length, then analysis of beams, and also the cover to reinforcement, bond and development check, length, development, deflection check. All these upload in YouTube. That will help you for easy understanding of the design of beams and slabs. Now again all the clauses and tables graphs as given IS 45 2000. The clear span in x direction 3 meter 3000, y direction is 7 meter, so 7000 millimeter. Then width of support is given 300, grade of concrete is given 20 Newton per square, and this is given live load is given 2 kg per square. Now, what do you assume? Depth of slab. Okay, now in case of beams, in case of beams we have taken B and D. Okay, we have assumed B and D for the beam sections. So B into D the gross area. Now in slabs, B is always 1 meter. So don't assume this is all are on 1 meter width. Whatever steel will also come reinforcement that will provide in 1 meter, and then that will be continue for other 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter width beside. Only D. Now slabs depth are less than the beam depth. Here the slab loading is different, and the depth generally in slabs you are providing in residential buildings in your villages, rural areas generally 100 millimeter, and it may go up to 200 and 250 millimeter in the residential buildings or the market building complex or your multi-story buildings where the load is very large. It can go up to 200 and 250 millimeter maximum. But if I think of these slabs on the bridge also slab. In the bridge you are going the culverts, bridge, there the depth of slab is more, maybe 700, 800, 300, 500 like that. Slab depth will come because the heavy load will pass through these bridges. So bridge slab is different than the residential building or the building slabs and the bridge slabs. They are both are different things. So in case of the buildings, the slab generally will be in this flat range because you will find maximum 100 to 150 millimeter in the range of the thing. So here the overall depth is assumed 120, cover to reinforcement 20, and diameter bar is taken 10. So I have already told in some classes that the diameter bars in case of slabs will be equal to 8 mm or 10 mm, maximum 12 mm. But in case of these slabs, it may go to any value. That may be 25 mm slab or 30 mm. The diameter bars are also used in case of bridge slabs or the slab culverts. Now diameter bar is taken 10 millimeter, so that you can check the bar diameter generally given in the code. We'll see in later stage the diameter is limited to 1/8 of the thickness. So if it is 120, 1/8 of the 120 maximum you can provide 15 millimeter, not more than 1/8 of the overall thick depth. That is given in the code provision. We'll discuss later. Now effective span, like the beams we have seen clause number 23, similar things, that overall depth minus cover minus half of the diameter rod will come 100. So as the cover of the reinforcement, clear cover you can take 15 basically. It is 20, but it is taken 15. So you take 15 here. There is a mistake here. 120. This is not 250. This is 120 minus. Please do the corrections. This is not 250. Sorry. This is equal to 120. Minus cover to reinforcement is taken, sorry, this is 15, cover to reinforcement is 15 millimeter. Please do the checks. So 120 minus 15 minus half of the diameter of the rod, 5/2. So this comes out to be 100. Do the changes. There is a slight here and calculation mistakes. Now effective depth will found out. This is come 100 millimeter now. Now what is effective span in x direction and y direction? That we have seen effective span is equal to the clear span plus width of support or clear span plus effective depth, whichever is less. So in both cases it is coming the clear span plus D effective. Here is 3100, it is 7300. So what is the LX by LY? LY by LX? LY by LX will be 7.1 by 7. LY LX comes 7.1 by 3.1. So this value is coming 2.29, which is greater than 2, so it is a one-way slab. So first you check whether it is a one-way slab or two-way slab. So now we'll design for one-way slab, and it is just like design of beams. Now loading, what the kind of loading will come in case of slabs? The loads will be dead load and live load. Live load is given 3 kilonewton per meter square. Live load is given in the question. It is given, sorry, it is 3 kilometer square, not 2. This is equal to 3 kilonewton per meter square. So make changes. Live load is 3 kilonewton per meter square, and then live load 3 kilonewton square. Then dead load. What is dead load? Dead load is calculated that thickness into 25 kilonewton per meter cube is the unit weight of concrete. Unit weight of concrete into 0.12, that is 3 kilometer square. Okay, so 3 kilometer square. Live load is 2. This is 2 kilometer square. So 3 plus 2 plus floor finish. So you are putting some finishes on the top of the floor. So it becomes 5.5 kilometer square. So the factor load again multiply 1.5 as the load factor, we find 8.25 kilometer square. So that means this live load was given correct, that is 2 kilometer square, and the dead load is 3 kilometer square calculated. So total comes 8.25. So for this kilometer square multiply by 1, that becomes 8.25 kilometer per meter. So the maximum minimum you calculate, the maximum minimum will be WL square by 8, and then your maximum shear force will WL by 2. So that value will get directly from this formula. Okay. So this is your WL square by 2, WL square by 8 maximum bending moment. So maximum bending moment is equal to again limiting moment, that is 0.138 FCKBD square. So from this calculate depth is coming only 59. You see the requirement of the depth. We have taken 100, you require only 60. So this is so in this problem, if you take the depth of slab is also 80 mm, 90 mm also, that will be safe, because the requirement is very less, 50-60 millimeter. So you have taken 120, so you can take 100, you can take 90. So also this slab will be safe in the design. You can redesign it, you get it. Now the provided thickness is 100, so calculate AST required. Like the problem we have already solved in case of beams. Only thing, the B value will be taken as 1000 here. The B value is 1000. Other values remain same. D value, then mu, all the things. But B, the width will be equal to 1000. So taking B is equal to 1000. Calculate this area of steel. Okay. Everyone find B value is coming 1000. It is same as the beam problem. Same thing in the beam. But this B value here and here. This is 1 meter. 1 meter width of the slab. So width is equal to 1000. Everywhere width is provided 1000. And the steel that you will find here, the reinforcement that will be provided in 1 meter width. What is the number of bars required in 1 meter width, that will be calculated. So everything is provided in 1 meter width of this beam. Now, but the minimum reinforcement? Minimum reinforcement is 0.12 BD by 100. That is given clause 26.5.2.1. So let us go for this 26.5.1. Open your code. Okay, you can first provide this 26.5.2. You can find what it says. This is regarding a slab, solid slabs. It is given for solid slabs. The mild steel reinforcement in either direction in slab shall not be less than 0.15%. Please see it. So this is the 0.15%. 0.15% of bars cross sectional area. However, this can reduce to 0.12% for high strength different bars or welded wire fabrics. So the value of, you are using HOST bars. So the minimum reinforcement in slabs is equal to 0.12% of the gross area. So 0.12 into B is equal to 1000 into your depth of slab, percentage means by 100. So this is the area required. Okay. Now we are discussing on maximum size diameter. You see here rigidity. Maximum size diameter. The diameter of reinforcing bar shall not exceed 1/8 of the total thickness of slab. I was talking initially, so you can find here the maximum diameter of the reinforcement that will be used shall not be exceed or greater than 1/8 thickness of slab. You are taking 100 mm thickness, so maximum can go for 12 mm bars. So above that you cannot use in the slabs. Now similarly, we can discuss here regarding the spacing of the bars. The spacing of bars, you can discuss the spacing of the bars. Now in the spacing of bars, you can also see here that in the spacing of bars you see minimum distance. We have seen the maximum distance between the bars in tensions, but in beams already we have seen that the horizontal, prior to this clause, for the beams the spacing between the individual bars, horizontal as well as vertical, is given prior to this. We have discussed in case of beams that the distance between two bars in the beams, horizontal distance shall not be more than the diameter of bars. There are different bars, largest diameters, or 5 mm more than nominal size of force of aggregate. Greatest of all these things will taken. If we calculate generally 25 mm, we have discussed on the we have discussed on in case of beams, we have discussed that this distance between these horizontal bars, this distance will be maximum 25 mm. So similarly in the slabs, what are the clause says for slabs? You see the slabs. The horizontal distance between parallel main reinforcement bars shall not be more than 3 times the effective depth of solid slab or 300 mm, whichever is lesser. So it's very clear. Horizontal distance between the parallel main reinforcements bars shall not be more than 3 times the effective depth of solid slab or 300 mm, whichever the less. This is the horizontal distance. Similarly, for the distribution steels or for the temperature reinforcements, that for those cases the shrinkage, the minimum reinforcement per shrinkage, and that we have seen the minimum steel is 0.12%, and where we provide this minimum steel, the distance between the bars shall not be more than 5 times the effective depth of a solid bar or 450. So you should keep in mind, one case 3D or 300 is a place, other case this is the main reinforcements, and this is for distribution steels. It will be our minimum reinforcement, it will be 5 times D or 450, whichever is less. So these two things are given in these two pages. So here the page number is, you can find it is 46. In page 46 you'll find out the distance between the reinforcing bars in slabs, and in page number 48 you'll find out the diameter of the bars and the minimum steel requirement for the slabs. So these things are given here. Now let us go to our problem. Okay, now here once you find these values, what the number of bars, area of steel is coming 144 minimum steel, and this is 292, so this is more than the minimum, so you provide this area you have found. If this area will be less than the minimum value, then you will provide a minimum value. If it is more than the minimum value, provide this value. So for this, find this spacing. How to find spacing? Spacing is nothing, 1000, provide number of bars in 1 meter. So 1000 millimeter by number of bars will you give the spacing, number of bars. Okay, number of bars will give you the spacing of the bars, spacing of the main reinforcement. So spacing is equal to this. So what is the number of bars? Number of bars is equal to area of the steel divided by pi by 4 d square, the area of the 1 bar. So find the number of bars, that is total area required divided by 1 bar of 1 area. So that will find your number of bars. 1000 by number of bars will giving spacing. Spacing is giving 268 is coming from design. Whatever the codal provision, 3D or 300. So 3D means 300. So you can provide less than 268. So it is provided 10 phi at 250 millimeter center of center. Okay, if you find 8 mm phi bars required, it will find different kind of spacing. So we have provide 10 mm phi. So we will provide 10 mm phi 250 center of center for these reinforcements of these slabs, main reinforcement. So we have found this area of the spacing of these steels for the main reinforcement. Now what is the area provided, AST provided, we have to find out. So to find out the AST provided, again you have to find this 1000 width and then the area of 1 bar pi by 4 pi square by spacing. So spacing, we have found spacing is equal to this by pi by 4 square into AST provided. Now we'll find what the AST provided. So spacing we have decided 250. So the area of steel 314. So earlier it has come. The requirement of steel was 292. So 292 was the requirement. Now we have provided 314 millimeter square. We have provided as a steel. Once you find the steel provided, then find the percentage of steel. So PT is equal to 100 AST by BD. So it will find 0.314. Now this is regarding this main reinforcement. Now what is the transverse reinforcement? Because in slabs, to keep the main bars in position, you will provide some transverse reinforcement. So they will be binded by the binding wires to keep in position. Now what is the transverse reinforcement? That is again 1000 by number of 5 bars. The same formula, but here the minimum reinforcement we have found 0.12 BD, that is 144. So it is coming 545 millimeter. But what is the spacing of the codal provision we have discussed? That is 5D or 450. So it is come 500, 450, and here 545. So you have provide less than 450 millimeter the spacing. So it is giving again that clause 26.3 B2 which we have discussed. So let us provide the values of spacings for this transverse reinforcement, that is 300 millimeter center to center, which is less than 450. So we have provided the main reinforcement 10 5 250 millimeter center to center, and here 10 5 300 center to center as a distribution steel. Now we'll check for shear. The similar thing we have discussed in clause number 40 in page number 72 and 73. Go to your code of page number 72 and 73. You will find out that this VU is equal to WL effective by 2, as we are discussing earlier. So you will find out it is coming 12.78 kilonewton. Then find tau V is coming 0.1812 in Newton per meter square, the clause 40.1, and again it is less than tau C maximum. So it is same. What is the design strength of concrete? Now we have calculated percent of steel 0.157 on the top. We have calculated percentage of steel here. PT 0.314 we have calculated PT value. Now what happens in slabs? That 50% bars are bent up. So it is written, assuming 50% bars bent up near the support, so PT will be half. So whatever PT you have found there, that will half of all these things. So it is found to be 0.157. Okay. So where it is got that, yeah, assuming 50% bar are bent up. So we have found the percent of steel 0.314, half of this 0.157. So calculate for M20 grade concrete, find out for 0.15, 0.25, and for 0.157, find the value. So again, doing by linear interpolation, it's coming 0.286. But again, in page number 72, you see for slabs, we have seen that this design shear strength for slabs is K tau C. Please look your open your RCC code, page number 72, and you find there for slabs the value K tau C is your design shear strength for solid slabs, K tau C. What is the K? K that the table is giving, or depending on the depth, you will find the value of K. So K value is coming here 1.25. So multiply by K into 1.25, and tau B shall be less than K tau C. So find the appropriate values of K and then multiply this. Maybe there's some calculation error. So please check that. So it depends on depth. So it depends on depth. Below 130, they have the standard value. That is 1.3 perhaps, not 1.2, 1.3. So for depth more than, less than 150, there is some value perhaps, and more than 300, there is some other value, and in between there will be linear interpolation. So less than 150 means it is 1.3. So multiply 1.3, and tau B is less than K tau C. If tau B less than K tau C, no shear design is required, because already we have also discussed sometimes that in slabs, since the depth is very less, you cannot provide the shear reinforcements. It is very difficult to bind this shear reinforcement within the very small depth. So always in slabs, there is no shear design, always tau B less than K tau C. There is also no minimum shear reinforcement provided in case of RC slabs. So you should check your nominal average shear stress shall be less than the K tau is the permissible shear strength of concrete. So once you do the shear design, then you check for deflection and check for development length. So check for deflection, the similar way we have done for beams. Find your stress and steel 0.58 Fy into area steel required by area of steel provided. Go to these clause numbers, figure 4 and clause 23.2.1, maybe in page number 37, 38, you can see, and find similar the FS value, PT value. Here PT is now you can ask why PT is equal to 0.314. You can call this value is coming because the maximum deflection at the center. Because the maximum deflection at center, you can find this value 0.314. So taking 0.314, you have to find the value. Clear? Now for shear at the center, shear at the support, this has been reduced to 50%. So it is 0.157. But deflection is maximum at the center. So you have to take all the steels percentage, that is 0.314. So the from figure you will find 1.6. Now your L span by it will be less than L effective by D should be 20 into 1.6. So this is less than this 31 less than 32. So it is safe. Hello. Now you can see that check for development length. Now for checking development length, what we'll do? For check for development length, again the similar thing. LD you find out phi sigma s by 4 tau BD. Then L0 is equal to width of support minus clear cover, that is equal to 135 millimeter. And then your moment of resistance available at support. So 50% bar has been bent up near the support. So area of steel will be 50% of this total steel area. So according to take the 50% value, multiply 0.5 here, 0.5 into the area of steel, and find this value to come 0.077. And then find XU by D less than XU maximum. So find the moment of resistance using the formula given in page number 96. Only the thing B, the B will be equal to 1000 because this is a slab. B is equal to 1000. So you can find the moment of resistance there. So find this moment of resistance value. Then once you find moment of resistance value, then check this, that in the page number 47 or 48, depending on that that clause for this development length that is given, you can calculate this 1.3 M by B plus L0 shall be LD shall be less than this. So this value is coming 693. So LD value is 470. So LD is less than equal to this value. So we have checked LD shall be less than equal to 1.3, where the compression force is coming, reaction is giving a compression force M1 by V plus L0. So LD should be less than equal to this. So this has been given in the codal provision. We have already discussed in the development length in the earlier lectures. So you can find that on the code directly. So the development length shall be less than this. So now this is check for the development length. Now once you check development length, then you have to go for the detailing part. Now see the detailing part of the slab. So slab is 7 meter by 3 meter. So you have provided 10 mm phi, 100 mm phi, 250 center of center. So the short direction steels are provided along the length, and long direction steels are provided along the width perpendicular to that. So these steels are 10 phi at 100 at 300 center of center. Okay, and these are the 10 phi at the rate of 250. You see that two things given. One is 10 phi at 250 center of center. So these bars are 10 phi at 2 center of center. So short direction steels are provided along the length, and long direction steels are provided along the width of this short direction. So 10 phi 300 and 10 phi 250 center of center. So these are two things provided here. Now if you plot a cross section here, you will find along the length. So there will be bars. This bar correspond to this bar correspond to this bar correspond to this. So these are the direction of steels on this AST provided 10 phi 250 center of center, and this bar will be your distribution steel. This is the main bar. This is the distribution steel that will be 10 phi at 300 center of center. So this is nothing 10 phi at the rate 300 center of center, and this is your main bar. So these are 10 phi at the rate of 10 phi at the rate of 250 center of center. So this is the detailing of the reinforcements. So you can also see the detailing of reinforcement again. in your SP34. So with this, we conclude the design of this one-way slabs, and have a nice day on this